Pokebills, gotta pay 'em all.
If you ask me,
this wasn't my destiny.
Pokebills.
Oh, it's a dead end. Why must my funds descend? Pokebills, gotta pay 'em all.
My rent is due.
I don't know if I'll pull through.
You tax me and I'll pay you. Pokebills. Pokebills.
Gotta pay 'em all.
Welcome to another episode of Isekai'd, a fantasy world doing mundane jobs to get by. Let's try this again. This is staying in. Welcome to another. Oh God. Welcome to another episode of Isekai'd, a fantasy world without superpowers doing mundane jobs to get by, or for short, HypeTo. Woo. If you don't know, if you're new here, in this podcast, we take mundane jobs or interesting jobs and see what they are like in the chosen world that we decide to go to. And in today's episode, we're talking about Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all.
Pokemon.
If you don't know what Pokemon is, that means you've probably been living under a rock, and I don't even know why you're here. Unless you just love us. If you love us, thank you.
And please subscribe.
You sound desperate. Oh, wait. We are. No. Oh, my goodness. All right. What we are doing in this episode is, if you haven't looked at the timestamp, it's probably going to be a really long episode. Because we went head first in this. We went down a rabbit hole. We're trying to see if we can survive as a non-trainer in the Pokemon world. As a non-trainer. Every time you throw a ball, it gets that 3 ticks and it pops out. Oh, you were so close.
Yeah, those premier balls you got from the freaking Pokemart, nope, that's a scam. Did not work.
To be honest, I really think they are. They're just a normal. Well, it says in the description, there's a normal Pokeball that looks nice. So, we're gonna be breaking down. Jesus Christ. We're gonna be breaking down each region with the job by its income, cost of living, taxes, and the quality of life. We're not going to go into the quality of life index. That's too much. So we're not doing that. And then the Pokédollar situation, a lot of the information that we looked up, I looked up, said that the Pokédollar, Pokéyen, Pokéeuro, whatever you want to call it, is just a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're not doing exchange rate. We're not doing inflation. We're not doing any of that. We're just going to be a 1-to-1 thing. Okay? All right. We know that these regions are all connected, but are really far away. All right? And there's going to be a lot of air travel. Because that little 10-year-old over there that has a Pidgey and somehow has the HM fly, probably taught that Pidgey that. And those poor Pidgeys are going to need someone to guide them. Or else you and your Pidgey, you guys are going to fucking die by blunt force trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that. I'm probably have to bleep that out a little bit. But anyways. So if you couldn't tell, your first job is an air traffic controller. By the way, if you guys see me drinking this and it's not completely see-through, it's called Liquid IV. I want Liquid IV to sponsor us someday.
That would be nice.
I love Liquid IV. Have you tried Liquid IV?
I've tried Liquid IV.
Which
in
ones?
Fact, it is fantastic.
It's amazing. What's your favorite flavor?
I like a few of them, but just normal strawberry.
Oh, you're a strawberry guy.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I've also never paid for Liquid IV. I used to get it through work during the summertime.
Oh.
So strawberry was one of the only ones that was left.
Oh, that's why, because no one likes it.
Yeah. So, I also like green apple Jolly Ranchers for the same reason. Because
Wait, people don't like green apple Jolly Ranchers?
not the people I know.
Dude, those
John, stop being so similar. Like we have so many similarities between us. That could be a whole different episode, so we're not going to get into that. But if you'd like some lore, stick around once the Patreon's up.
My favorite
All
flavor is
right.
golden cherry lately. That's my favorite one.
Golden
cherry. It's
God, you're bougie.
I know. Got that golden. I do love my cherries, and they're hella expensive. Oh my god! But can you imagine an air traffic controller seeing Pidgeys fly around? Not just Pidgeys, but next thing you know, you see a Ho-Oh or Lugia, and you're like, guys, 345. We got a Ho-Oh. Everybody, don't cross that path, please.
All of a sudden, Rayquaza comes down because he's a little bit hangry.
X-ray, Charlie, Delta, Rayquaza.
It's like, is that the Sky God? The next thing you know, Pidgey with a 10-year-old T-posing on top of him.
Oh my god. Dragon's breath. Guys, we got to send that Pidgey back to the mom. The 10-year-old's gone, guys. I'm sorry.
And yet the Pidgey survived.
Oh my god.
This is why we need air traffic controllers. So please, any details you have about your job, put him in the comment
I've heard
section.
some crazy, you know how they release some tapes on air. I don't know if they're real, but I've heard some crazy things on those things. I mean, I've seen some people with the little prop planes, talking.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they bring out a bunch of, Delta, Alpha, 3, 4, 5, and something like, oh, I don't know what they're saying. But I wonder how hard it actually is to be an air traffic controller.
I've heard it can be very difficult
Right?
at times.
Can you imagine though, just being in the Pokemon world? You got Pidgeys, Skarmories, you got Pidgeots, you have
Spearows.
Spearow. We're OG 151 guys, so if I go any further than Gen 3, I'm lost.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, so there's Staraptor that I know. That's like Gen 4. So Swallows, Pelipers. I know Gen 3. That's as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I haven't played the other ones. I just prefer 1, 2, and 3.
Which generation do you think is the best, and why is it Gen 3?
Gen 3 is pretty BA. All right.
So should we get into income?
Yeah. So we'll get into income for a traffic controller, and then we'll talk about the taxes, and then we'll talk about the cost of living, and we'll sort of break it down from there and sort of see, is it really worth sticking with the air traffic controller with all the stress that's included on that? So in the U.S., your average salary is going to be $56,000. In Spain, 54,000 euros. In Japan, a couple of sites said other things, but it's going to be roughly anywhere from 9,700,000 yen to 16 million yen. I know, big difference. I know. France is 91,000 euros. And then the UK is 50,000 pounds. Now, you're probably wondering, why is it US, Spain, Japan, France, and the UK? Well, good for you guys to break down how much you earn, where you earn, how the cost of living is. Each region is based on different parts of the world. Well, in this case, the first 4 regions are all based in Japan. You got your Kanto region, which is literally Kanto. It's Tokyo, Saitama, Gunma, that area. You got your Johto League, which is in Kansai area. Kyoto, Osaka, Kobe, Nara. Then you got your Hoenn region, which is your southern part of Japan, which is Kyushu, Fukuoka. And then you got your Sinnoh region, which is Hokkaido, that area, Sapporo. And then you got your Unova region, which is New York, New Jersey. You got the Aloha region, which is, you guessed it, Hawaii. That one's literally the most obvious one.
Change one letter, and it is the most common greeting you have ever heard.
Yeah, pretty much. Kalos is France. Paldea is Spain. Also Portugal. I'm sorry, Portugal people. I did not include you guys. It was just more work that was a lot more work. And then you got Gala region, which is the UK. So that's why it is broken down in those 5 areas. Now we're going to talk about the taxes in those areas. Why are we talking taxes? Because can you actually live in that area? Because these are annual. It's just gross. We're not talking net right now. So we're going to talk about taxes, see where we go from there. Mm-hmm. All right, take it away, Cooper. Taxes.
All right, former accountant Cooper coming in. So for an air traffic controller, we're going to be looking at 3 different taxes. And for each of these jobs we got lined up for the episode, the federal withholding, as I'm labeling it, it's kind of nebulous. Anybody who's had a paycheck and had a chunk taken out knows that federal withholding makes no sense. So that's kind of the same for most countries, and there will be different rates depending on your income bracket. So keep in mind as we continue. Air traffic controller. We've got Social Security, medical insurance, and federal withholding. So federal withholding, looking at 22% for the income level that John mentioned earlier. Medical insurance, 1.45%, and Social Security tax, 6.2%.
And this is in the U.S., correct?
This is in the U.S. Yep. Over in the U.K., their federal withholding is about 40% for that income bracket. Their Social Security tax is 16.5%, and their medical insurance, according to the sources I found, was wrapped in with the Social Security tax. Let's see. So then over in France, we've got 41% for federal withholding, and the Social Security tax is 20%, again, with that rolled in. Spain, we're looking at 18.5% for federal withholding, 6.45% for Social Security, once again, rolled into it for medical insurance. Now, over to Japan. Over to Japan. We've got 33% for that income bracket for federal withholding. Social Security is 15.27%, and this one actually also has a separate medical insurance rate of 5%. So that's what we're looking at for taxes for this position.
All right. And doing math, you get a good chunk taken out. So,
Yep.
So the cost of living of each of these regions, we will start with the Kanto, Hoenn, Johto, Sinnoh. And again, I didn't put it in the city. Yes, if you live in Tokyo, area and Kansai, Kanto and Kansai area, yes, it's going to be more expensive to live there. A lot more cities compared to living in Kyushu. A little different. I just took the national average. Yes, it's going to be different, but it makes it easier for all of us. It really does. So, and most of this is without rent. I'll talk about rent here in a second. In Japan, a single person, yes, single person. We're talking about one person getting Isekai'd by Truck-kun into the Pokemon world. We're single. We're keeping it single to make our lives easy and your lives easy. Okay? So, a single person estimated monthly cost in Japan is roughly 130,000 yen. Okay, which translates, this is taking, okay, never mind. 130,000 yen. That's without rent. If we go into the apartment for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center, it is roughly 86,000 yen. Outside the city center, it's roughly 56,000 yen. So we're looking at roughly 200,000 to 250,000 yen. So that's about $2,000 to $25,000 a month.
2,500.
No, dollars. I'm talking dollars. So $2,500 or $2,000.
You said $25,000.
Oops.
It's like, honey, no.
But that's roughly living expenses in Japan. We'll go to New York next, which is the Unova region. About $1,700 without rent. If you include rent in the city center, it is roughly $4,400. Ooh, that hurts every time I look at this. Outside the city center, it's still $3,000. So you need anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 to live in New York a month. If you're listening to this from New York, and if this is correct or wrong, let me know, because this, from what I heard from New Yorkers, this is insane. Yeah. It's true.
Let's all cry together.
Oh, I'm crying already.
My gosh.
Let's go ahead and go to Honolulu, which is the Aloha region. Roughly $1,500 a month without rent. If you need rent, a one-bedroom apartment is $2,200. Outside the city center is about $1,700. So you're looking from anywhere from $2,200 a month to over $3,000 a month. All right, let's go to France. A single person in France is about $1,000. Now, this is not, again, this is average. It could be Paris, Lyon. Those places are completely different. Rent can be different. So I'm just taking the average. If you pay way more than this a month, let me know, because I'm really curious on how France is. If you're in the city center, about 780 euros for a single bed. Outside the city center, it's about 600 euros. So again, we're looking at roughly 2,000 a month. We'll go to Spain, Spain is actually really, really similar. It's about 700 euros a month without rent for a one-bedroom apartment. We're looking at 1,000 euros in the city center. Outside the city center, we're looking at about 700 euros. So not bad, Spain, not bad at all. In the UK, about £1,000 without rent for the cost of living. For a 1-bedroom apartment, we're looking about £1,100. That's inside the city center. Outside the city center, we're looking at about £900. Yep. So that's the cost of living in those places. Now, the stress that comes with being a traffic controller in the Pokemon world. We talked about this before. We talked about all the dizzying numbers.
Yeah.
Good luck dealing with a 10-year-old and his Pidgey. Now, here's the other part. You don't have a way to communicate with them. There's no headsets. Pidgey, take me to Viridian Forest. Oh, shit, you can't go to Viridian Forest. Take me to Palatown or Saffron City. And there's no infrastructure for it. There is literally no headsets for you. Like, how do you communicate with a 10-year-old saying, hey, look out for a freaking Ho-Oh that no one has ever seen before?
God, it's got to be terrible. Like, even if somebody was able to employ, like, psychic Pokemon that had telepathy.
Hire a Mew. Sorry. Okay, we'll keep it real. Let me hire an Alakazam, because you have to trade for an Alakazam. I to be honest, I really hated that mechanic in the game.
Oh, it's
trading for a Pokemon. Because I always wanted a Gengar, but you had to trade your Hunter? Yeah, Hunter for a Gengar. Or you had to change your Kadabra for an Alakazam, or a Machamp for a Machoke. No, Machoke for a Machamp. All right?
It really sucked if you didn't have friends. Thankfully, I did, but not very many.
I didn't have the link cables. I never got them.
Oh.
So I never traded. Even now, I still never traded Pokemon with people.
Really?
Yeah. Even though nowadays it's easier.
Oh, that's sad, buddy.
I know. That's why I get ROMs and make sure they evolve while I level up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, is it possible to live? Let's start with the Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh region. That region. Is it possible to live in that region with being an air traffic controller, making 16 million yen? Time to pull out our calculators, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So the average living cost per month in Japan. We'll go city center because we want to live in the nice city. We want to live in Saffron City before Team Rocket took it over. So again, for the city center, we're looking at roughly 86,000 yen a month. And then about the monthly cost to live, to buy groceries, eat out once in a while, all those things is roughly 129,000 yen a month. Can you put those in the calculator for me? Oh, you got a different thing. Hold on. Let me pull out my calculator then. Oh, boy. My phone's...
I was totaling the taxes together.
Jerk. No, I'm kidding.
The taxes for Japan are really high. France is going to be even worse.
Is France worse?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. 129,000 yen a month.
Okay.
All right. Plus the rent, which again is, in the city center, 86,000 yen. All right. Equals per month, you're going to need 137,600 yen times 12 months in a year. So you're looking at 1,651,200 yen a year to live. We're not talking, this is the minimal stuff. We're not talking about childcare. We're not talking about going out and buying a Levi's 101 pair of jeans. We're not talking about going to the gym, right? And then, you know what I didn't include on this for specifically Japan is basic utilities.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how it would be in a Pokemon world to get basic utilities, because you could just hire a muck to eat all your shit.
That would be nice.
Like a slime in some of those Isekai worlds. Just have a slime, they clean and purify everything.
Except this one.
This one stinks.
Yeah, this one looks kind of funny. Just sits in the corner staring at you.
Oh,
it's like
staring at me menacingly.
It's like a droopy basset hound face, but it's just all lit.
All right, what are the taxes for Japan?
Altogether, the total payroll taxes that we're looking at, 53.27%.
That's right.
Of your
about 50%, depending on what part of Japan you're at. Is ooh.
But that's also because this is a slightly higher income bracket. So keep that in mind.
And plus, medical is cheaper. And yeah, there's a bunch of other things in there that makes it nicer.
Yeah. Tons of caveats, but based off our numbers, that's what we got.
So they get 60 million yen, so we'll just take 50% to make it easy. That's 8 million yen that goes in pocket. Minus the 1,651,200 yen. You get a take home of roughly
like 6.4.
6.4, maybe a little bit less. It'll go 6.2 to make it easy, which is pretty nice.
That is super nice.
6.2 million yen is roughly 62,000 a year you get taken home.
That's still better than I make. So
Way better than I make. 100% way better than I make. That's not bad. That's not bad. But now let's since we're here, let's go ahead and include utilities. And here's the other part that Japan you have to include in Japan, not just utilities, but your transportation. You have to have a train pass, and that gets expensive. A lot of people buy yearly or monthly train passes to make it pretty easy, which is about 8,000 yen a month.
Okay.
So we include 8,000 yen in there. Then monthly bills, depending on where we live, this is only for a 915 square foot apartment, which I think makes sense for heating, cooling, water, garbage, 25,000 yen. So we're looking at 33,000 yen so far included. Got to have a cell phone, right? Got to have a cell phone. So prices will go 5,000 yen. And then you have to have internet. Will go 10,000 yen because you want fast internet, right? So we're looking at roughly an extra 50,000 yen roughly.
We are not factoring in the cost of a Pokedex because obviously you're not trainers.
We're not trainers.
Don't blue ball yourself like that.
Can you go 50,000 times 12 for me real quick?
Sure can.
50,000 times 12.
600,000.
Plus another 600,000 per month that has to be included in this. You're looking at a third of your yearly income going towards bills. 1/3 going towards bills, not including, this is all including taxes. So you're taking home roughly, if we subtract the monthly rent and everything, monthly bills, and subtract all the taxes, again, you're leaving home with roughly 4.8 million yen.
Which is what, $48,000
if we go 1-to-1 exchange.
Even with those utilities added in, that's still better than what I make.
Still pretty good. Yeah.
I am sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Is it worth the stress? Making that much? Bringing home that much? Is it worth the stress? You have to deal with 10-year-olds flying on their Pidgeys. Like, come on. You got to deal with death every day.
I would honestly say that is not worth it. Like, if this was a normal world and you were taking home that much, you could make it and you could be happy. But with all of the crap happening with, and don't forget about Latias and Latios.
Oh yeah, and don't forget about Pokemon actually fighting, like wild Pokemon fighting in the sky.
Yeah.
2 Dragonites fighting. Oh well, pseudo legendaries, we're dead here.
Yeah, the air marshals are just Pokemon Rangers.
Flying on what? What should those air marshals be flying on? What do you think? What Pokemon they'll be flying on?
Oh,
Aerodactyls.
Oh, that would be bad.
That would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
But remember, they're fossil Pokemon technically, so
fossil fuel.
Fossil fuel. Oh my god. Hey, I'm just pumping in some Aerodactyl in my moped over here.
It just uses like a breath weapon or something. That would actually be a much more renewable source of energy. Ironically, Pokemon is a more ideal world. Even though as an air traffic controller, it would probably be hell.
It would be traumatizing.
So I would not want to be an air traffic controller in the world of Pokemon.
No, I'm good. I am so good. Like, the money's nice, but with the amount of trauma that you're going to have to deal with, no, thank you. But I mean, like, okay, what happens? Oh my god, air battles. You've seen air battles happen before in the show. Someone's flying on a Charizard, someone's flying on Dragonite. I challenge you to a Poke battle.
The good news about that, at least, is that with there probably being dedicated airspaces, because I'm realizing this as we've talked about it now, there's not going to be an air traffic controller for every mile of the flight path.
Right.
So for the air centers, as long as the laws are clearly stated, like, hey, we have the air marshal Pokemon Rangers, like patrolling the perimeters and whatnot, keeping those wild Pokemon out of the air zone. That's the term I was
that would
looking
be
for.
interesting.
And then also, like, it is highly illegal to have Pokemon battles.
But how are you going to keep
in
them
the
out, though?
airspace.
Because, just like how birds work in our world with planes, they fly, they go right through your engine, and you just lost an engine. Right? So same thing. I don't think they'll be able to control all of that necessarily.
Right.
So random wild Poke battles when you fly. Can you imagine if they implemented that in the game? Where you
Oh
fly
my gosh.
and you actually happen to run into like a Rayquaza just in the sky. Or a Moltres, Articuno, Jolt.
Oh, man.
Zapdos, all of them. Oh, that would be hilarious. So you realize that you absolutely say hell no to this job because all the trauma you're possibly going to take. So you realize, you know what? I still need to make money. So you decide to switch over to what we call Doduo Eats. And you realize this job is probably much safer.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's had a service industry job at one point, so just get it over with.
So we'll go on. And yes, I know we haven't talked about the other taxes that go into Spain, France, UK, USA, and all that stuff, but that's just a lot more numbers. If you guys want that, let us know. I might have a graphic up with just all the numbers when we talk about one or the other. But yes, it is possible to live in all the other places doing this job with the finance. New York, you can't. You absolutely cannot with New York. But again, I'll have the graphics up. I'll have some sort of graphics that literally say, can you live here? Can you not live here? To make it a little bit easier for you guys. But to keep it short for each place before we move on, US, you cannot live in New York with this salary. Spain, yes. Japan, yes. France, yes. UK, yes. It's hard to get by, but you can with all those places besides US. In New York, in California, in Hawaii, you can. It's just really tough. You're barely going to scrap by in Hawaii. So again, in Japan, the first four regions: Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh. Why can't I remember the other one? Hoenn. Possible to live in those four places. Unova, no, you cannot. It is way too expensive to live in New York as it is, and no, you will not survive. Aloha in Hawaii, yes. Paldea in Spain/Portugal. I'm hoping yes in Portugal, but yes in Spain. Kalos, yes. Galar, yes. You will be able to live in all those places with this job, but the trauma is not worth it. And again, New York, you will not survive with this paycheck. You have to make $150K a year. All right, back to Doduo Eats. We should totally make a shirt.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We should totally make a shirt of Doduo Eats. Anyways, that's future talk. Okay, food delivery. In the U.S., $38,000, not including tips. Not including tips, because most of these countries don't tip. Spain, 23,000 euros. Japan, 3,200,000 yen. France, 28,000 euros. UK, 24,000 pounds. Yeah, you're not surviving in New York at all with this.
You couldn't even go into New York with that.
Oh my god. Okay, but I would just like to point out, you're not a trainer, because Doduo Eats is all about riding Doduos, right?
Oh, for real.
You can't ride a Doduo. You gotta have a moped, which is a lot slower than a Doduo.
And you have to pay for gas.
You gotta pay for gas.
Everybody knows that when you're in the service industry, the boss don't pay for squat.
Nope. But I think that would be just so fun, being a delivery. I'm just saying, a Doduo Eats guy just driving around, or even and you just deliver food. Just get to see a bunch of Pokemon just flying everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know how scary it would be? You run into like an Arcanine, and you're like, shit, I'm dead.
Well, guess I'll die.
Do you think... Well, I mean, technically you're in the city center, and wild Pokemon don't go into the city, right? So I guess you don't have to worry about Pokemon in the city. So I guess you don't have to have a liability for you possibly dying on the job.
I think you probably would.
When you have to ride the Doduo. But remember, you can't ride a Doduo because no Pokemon likes you.
Well, true. But also don't forget that we've got all of these trainers that, just camp out in tall grass in caves, under bridges, at the tops of mountains, and they're gonna get hungry because they never leave their post.
Have you seen those videos of I don't remember where I found it, but it was a video of someone saying, "I challenge you to a Pokebottle." It was like an animation. He's like, "Dude, kid, I'm just trying to get to work." I'll see if I can find it and put it up on the YouTube page. But it's just hilarious. Like, dude, I'm just trying to get to work. That's how you are now. You got little kids going, a 10-year-old going, "I challenge you to a Pokeball." Throws out a Pidgey. And it's just like, kid, I'm not a Pokemon trainer, man. I got to get to work.
Kick the bird out of the way.
Kick the bird out of the way. Just punt it.
Get that out of my face.
You see a Rattata, you grab its by tail and just punt it. No, even better.
God, the subway rats are getting awful.
Punt a Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff!
Draw on my face one more time, mother. Boom.
I think, to be honest, I think this job will be way more fun than current delivery services.
I think so too.
I think so.
Like, aside from I think there will be added hazards, but it won't be nearly as bad as like monitoring the air.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, try going, and next thing you know, like in Yu-Gi-Oh, I challenge you to a Pokeball. Guys, I'm trying to get through. Stop fighting. Gyarados, use Waterfall. And just like, guys, my food's getting cold. Just trying to get through while they're battling on the streets.
Like, Bulbasaur, use Solar Beam. No.
Guys, wait.
That's not what I meant.
Oh my God. That would be so funny.
Man.
Okay. You want to do taxes on one of these places? Give us Spain. Taxes on Spain for this job.
Spain, the taxes for España, for a takeout driver, we are looking at 6.45% for Spain. Social security tax and medical insurance is wrapped into that. And then the federal withholding that we're looking for, essentially the income tax, is 15%.
15%. All right. Let's do some math. So we're going to be in the Paldea region. We're going to be living in the city center to make it a little bit easier. So again, for a 1-bedroom apartment in the city center is roughly 1,000 euros. And you need roughly 700 euros to survive. So that's roughly 1,700 euros a month. Multiply that by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. It's about 20,000 euros, 20,400 euros. And you said, what's the percentage on?
The the total percentage of taxes for Spain is 21.45%.
And then go ahead, and then the annual salary for a food delivery person is 23,000 euros. Do some math there.
All right, after taxes taken out, that's 4,933.5 euros.
All right, so we'll say 5,000 euros on that one. So you are taking home roughly, at the moment, after taxes, 18,000 euros. 18,000 euros minus the... Oh, you're not living. You're not living. It's 20,400 euros yearly.
That sounds about right, honestly. Yep. Like, do takeout drivers ever make enough money?
Nope.
No.
Never. And we're not talking gas. We're not talking utilities, anything like that. So currently on this at the moment, you are not surviving in any of these, especially New York. Fuck you, New York. Yep. So you're not living. You're not surviving. Now, and of course, in the U.S., there's a thing called tips, which is the stupidest thing in the world, in my opinion. It should just be baked into the salary. But no.
Imagine getting a living wage. Just
bro.
Think about it.
Bro. So sad. So sad. So,
anyway.
What are we going to do? Well, you have a thing called petty energy. After working for Doduo Eats and realizing, damn, fuck, that wasn't enough. So you know what? You bring your petty energy and decide to fuck them over and say, you know what? I'm going to screw you guys over because you don't pay enough. So then you become a health and safety inspector.
If I can't be happy, nobody can.
No one can be happy. Now, the really interesting part on this one is that the U.S. A health and safety inspector makes a lot compared to all the other countries besides Japan. Spain, France, and the UK make way less than I thought. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but they really do. So in the US, health and safety inspectors make about 100K a year. Spain makes 41,000 euros a year. Japan, 9,700,000 yen, which is about $97,000. France, 60,000 euros. The UK, 51,000 pounds. Yeah, that's a weird spread.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. That is really, really an interesting spread. God.
It may have to do with the culture. I can imagine Japan's possibly being lower because
It's higher though. It's $97,000.
oh shoot,
Yeah.
Which one was 60?
60 was France. Spain was 41,000. Which is weird, isn't it?
That is really weird.
It's really, really weird.
Huh?
So yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I
sure.
don't know then.
Right? It's so weird why the prices are really, really weird. But yeah, I really don't know. So, oh my God, you're so petty. You become a health and safety inspector. Jeez, can you imagine going into a business, next thing you see a muck and that's a safety, or a coughing, that's a health risk, and you're like, guys, why do you have a cough in here, bro? Dude, it's just a coughing, man.
It's like I didn't even notice the smoke until it was too late. Like Leo from that 70s show. Like, I thought he was paying rent, man.
But dude, I would actually love to be a health and safety inspector. You go into a Poke Center and you're like, Nurse Joy, you got a coughing in there. Well, it's injured. You got a coughing in there.
She's like, no, please, no, I'll do anything. We need to keep the Poke Center open. It's like, shut her down, boys. Oh, man.
A health and safety inspector. I mean, because you don't really see restaurants in the Pokemon game, but you see them everywhere else. Mm-hmm. So you see, because they're technically wild Pokemon, right? Would you consider them as trained pets? Because imagine going into like a milk tank area, right? A milk tank milk farm or a milk tank restaurant, right?
Oh,
and
boy.
Next thing you know, you see cow pies everywhere because a milk tank is.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Pokemon excrete.
They have to, right?
Yeah.
So are they trained like dogs? So when you catch them, or are they like actual animals that if they don't have a place to use the bathroom, they do it right there? Because dogs, no matter how well you train them, if they have to go, they gotta go, right? Because my dogs are super trained, but one time we didn't let them out for so long and they peed on the floor and like, well, yeah, we forgot to let you out the last 3 hours. That's our fault, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dogs have, they were kennel trained and they're usually able to last all day if need be, unless it's my really small dog,
right?
Because her bladder's the size of a pea. But yeah, like they can only hold it as long as they can hold it.
It's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and do the UK
for a health and safety inspector.
For a health and safety inspector.
All right.
So real quick, again, it's about 900 euros. I'll go 1,000 euros to make it easy. 1,000 euros without rent. Renting in the city center is another 1,000 euros. So 2,000 euros a month. Multiply that by 12 is 24,000 euros a month that you need to live. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the taxes on a health safety inspector?
The taxes for a health and safety inspector in the United Kingdom, or in this case, in the Galar region, would be 40% for income tax or federal withholding, and 16.5% for Social Security tax.
Jesus, that's almost 60% of taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
56.5%.
God, we'll just make it easy.
Medical insurance.
There's more?
I realize now, because I actually have different symbols in here versus the ones where Medicare is like rolled into it.
Right.
This one, I remember now, this has the really weirdly complex category system. category system
Mm-hmm.
with like, oh, well, you pay different premiums depending on your plan category
Oh my
and different
God.
taxes.
Oh my
So
God.
I don't know the letters and I only had so much time to research. So if you happen to know what yours is for like your category, feel free to just let us know, friends across the pond. So we're not factoring in that number whatsoever.
That's awful.
So 16.5% and 40% income tax.
Jesus
That brings us
Christ.
to a total of 56.5%.
Jesus. Well, we'll just go 60% because there's this other bracket we don't know. That's 60% of your income?
Yeah, so 24,000 pounds times 60%. That will take out.
No. You
14,
get 51,000 pounds for this job. 51,000 pounds.
Oh,
The 24,000
that
is
was
the
the rent.
Yeah, bills.
Gotcha. Okay,
One more
so
time. One more time.
54,000 times 0.6. That gives 32,400 pounds that are taken out of your paycheck.
You're not living in the Gala region with this. You're not living. Oh, boy.
Well, who's going to order fish and chips when the fish and the chips are sentient?
Try magic carp and chips.
What's the what's that fish treat that we were just looking at for the trip?
Oh, takoyaki?
Takoyaki.
Yeah.
No,
Not takoyaki. Sorry.
taiyaki?
Taiyaki, yep.
Taiyaki.
Taiyaki.
Taiyaki, like with a magic carp guilt tripping you as you eat it.
Oh my God. I would hate, man, I really wish we did restaurant worker in this or a chef and really see how you would live in this world as a chef.
Yeah, also because are you legally allowed to eat Pokemon meat?
I don't know. I've never seen in the movies or TV shows of them eating Pokemon. I mean, you drink Miltank milk, right?
But
You
then
have
also,
natural
what is
berries.
the meat that they eat?
Right? Like, do they have just cows or are you killing a Miltank to get cows?
Right.
Cow protein.
And if they do have just cows, then what other animals are there that are not considered Pokemon?
We might have to make a part 2 of just theoretics of living in the Pokemon world because, yeah, I don't know. Have you seen the TikTok of someone cutting open a Squirtle?
Oh my God.
Yeah, literally like how you would cut open a turtle to eat a turtle, the same way. Or a Bulbasaur. Have you seen? Oh my God. I have to show you the video at some point.
It's the fact that it's like a Pokemon that gives me pause. When it's just a turtle, I'm like, no, okay, I get it. But
yeah, I'm not sure how that would work. Like if you guys have any other jobs that would be like really weird theoretically in the Pokemon world besides a chef, let us know because I have a couple of ideas. But the chef is probably the most intriguing one.
Yeah, start a debate in the comments.
That would be cool. So yeah, those are our jobs for today. There is a lot of numbers in this. Again, if you guys liked this version of having a lot of numbers, let me know. Or if you like the other ones where we just do, like a surface level numbers, like how we did with the Demon Slayer episode, let us know. Because either way, one is a lot of research. One is less research. One with a lot of research is a lot of fun. I mean, they're both fun. But let us know which one you guys prefer. Do you guys like this, research-based, numbers-based sort of thing? Or do you prefer surface level numbers?
Yeah. And also not to mention, if you think a Doduo Eats shirt would slap super hard, also let us know and we'll keep that in mind for future consideration.
I will love a Doduo shirt. Doduo Eats shirt.
Dude, that would be amazing.
I would love to make one.
We're at least going to have some for us. So if you want to join the club, let us know.
All right. Time to go into our always scheduled rank the opening song. Now, here's the thing, though, with this one, is that when we do a ranking song for Pokemon, we're not doing every single season of the anime. For one, the songs are tailored to kids, and we listen to them. I hate almost all the songs.
Terrible. Low quality.
We were thinking of then doing the Japanese version, and
they're better.
They're a little bit better, but they're still geared towards kids. So what we're going to do is we are going to play the Pokemon theme song from the US one, the main one, and the Japanese one. Just the very, very OGs of the Pokemon theme song. Okay. Here we go. Let's get hype for this one. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. Catch them is my real test. The train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Touch none to understand the power that's inside.
Pokemon.
Sorry, that was 30 seconds, guys.
So good. So good.
Rank it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
S. Can we give it like quadruple S tier?
If we had another tier, I would give a triple S for sure. I mean, this song is just, it is the song for Pokemon, especially if you lived in the US. Like, it is the theme song you go to when it comes to theme songs.
It shaped an entire generation.
It legitimately did, and you can't go wrong with that one.
Mm-mm.
All right, now here's the other one. We have the Japanese version, like I mentioned before. Here's the Japanese version. I don't even know the lyrics to this one. I've heard it a handful of times because I watched the Japanese version when I was a kid. But yeah, here we go. So many memories come up from that one. So many memories.
Huh. Before we give the simultaneous ranking on
Yeah.
that one, it doesn't slap like the English version does.
No, that one is special.
Yeah,
That one is special. But
that
no,
is
this
a
one, but
league of
I
its
love,
own.
but this one feels super jazzy.
It does.
Super
I was gonna say,
jazzy.
like, it's got a completely different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So for its vibe, I do like it.
Okay. What are you going to rank it?
Do we want to say it at the same time?
Sure,
or-
we can try saying it at the same time. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
A.
Let's go. Yeah, A tier, definitely. I love the jazzy vibe. It's a funk, not jazz. Funk.
I think that's a better way.
Funk
to
is a
describe
better
it.
way to put it. For
It's like a
sure.
soft funk for
Yeah.
a good half the song.
Yeah. So I love the theme songs. I was actually, guys, I was debating to do all 25 English and 25 Japanese ones. We would be here for an hour.
Yeah,
So if you guys ever want to see, we might do it as a bonus episode one of these
Yeah,
days.
we
I think
might.
so.
because like our first episode, if you don't remember our first episode, go back, give it a watch, check out our ranking. There were 11 different
My Hero.
My Hero intros. And even that was a little bit much to keep it within the main podcast episode.
But yeah, so there's 25 of the Japanese and English ones. Let us know if you guys want to know. But as always, thank you for joining us in I'm Isekai'd to a fantasy world without superpowers doing mundane jobs to get by, or for short, HypeTo. Peace out.